Okay, so I've got my little plastic paper here, so it won't be as great as skin texture, but this will kind of give you an idea on how to make something fancy. So you just want to do a little pinkie pie on the cheek, Fluttershy, whatever it is on the cheek small, go for it. You want to do some design around the eyes. There are two different ways you can go about it to make it quick and still really pretty. I have rainbow cakes. If you don't have these, that is totally okay. It's just a way to get more color instead of using several colors over time. This puts the color on really quick. What I always suggest is an uneven mask. That way it's not hard to make the design really quick, because doing a character takes a long time regardless. So to make the little whimsical design around the eye, whatever makes it go fast is great. So I'm doing Rainbow Dash, so I used like a rainbow. Okay, and once the skin's dry, what you want to do with any of the My Little Pony characters, this is always suggestions, you guys can find your own way to do it, but I find it easier to start with the eyeball, and I always first start with an eye, and that's like an oval. Okay, and then I'm going to take a smaller brush to do my designs. That was a number 4 brush to do the eye, but it doesn't matter. It's a small painting. And then I switched to a number 2 round brush. And for all My Little Ponies, it's in and out, kind of like a little pointy nose. So it goes in towards the eye and then scoops out, and then has a little chin that goes back, and then I go around my eye. Let me move my thing here so you guys can see. Okay, so I go around the eye. Try to keep that shape. If it starts to go away, try to make it again. And this is pretty pointy here. And then I just complete the back of the head. It'll be covered up with hair, but it's always good to complete. And then we have a little leaf for the ear, and it's set back a little ways. And you can always print out the pictures and bring them with you, but I'm just showing you the quick way that I like to do it. Okay, and then for the neck, their neck comes out, so follow this and kind of make a curve back. And that's going to be the neck. Alright, now for Rainbow Dash, you can use a rainbow cake, a small rainbow cake. I have some with several colors. I have some that just have the basic colors, and the kids seem to be totally fine if I don't match the Rainbow Dash hair exact. And as long as you have those colors in the background, that's all that matters. You do not have to worry about being perfect on it. Okay, so I've got the little hair in there. And then I'm going to do the bottom, which kind of curves in. And then I switch to the other colors so we get the full rainbow effect. Again, I am not focusing on what color exactly goes where, it's just the idea that it's a rainbow. Okay, so now the other part should be pretty dry. I'm just going to use my sponge to kind of suck up some of the paint so I can keep going. Oops. Alright, so now your painting should be pretty much dry on the middle now that you've done the hair. I go back to my number 2 brush. That was a flat brush that I used to get my rainbow, but again, you can add the colors individually, it just takes longer. I'm loading up my black wolf paint on my number 2 round brush, the small one, and that way I can do my details. So I'm just going to start tracing. Another way to make it look more appealing is to use a really dark blue, and that way it's not black and harsh, but for the sake of the video, I'm just going to stick to black. I curve the neck. Okay, I make a little mini U shape, that's the nostril, and a little bit further down I make a smile towards the corner of the eye. I'm going to do eyelashes, so I only do the top half. The white shows that the lines, that it stops, so you don't have to circle the whole thing in black. I do my 3 little eyelashes, okay, like that, and then I add my eyeball, and the more egg shape you are, the cuter it is. And if you have time and they're not wiggling a whole bunch, you can add the color that goes in their eye, and again, if you have the printout with you of each character, then you'll know what goes next. I like to be pretty precise, when I do characters, because kids know the characters and they'll say that's not what they look like or that's not that. But again, the rainbow hair, you know, whatever, it's a rainbow, they're happy. So now we just add some little cool spikes. And again, this is on plastic, so it doesn't move the same way as on skin. And then what you do is the teardrop shapes I've been teaching, which if you guys were there, you'll know how to do teardrops. You can always look up face painting teardrop practice or whatever on YouTube. But basically for the wings, they're the same color blue on Rainbow Dash. I just curve, I do press, flick, press, and it gets lighter the closer it gets to me. And this gives the idea of wings. Then to finish your design, I usually use white, especially for like pretty faces, these things. For the mask, I would just go back and add teardrop swirls, things to kind of make it look fancy. And then the last thing I would do is put the white, once my black is dry, on the eyes. You can always add little highlights here and there with white. Kind of turn black, but you get what I'm saying. And then you can just use the teardrop swirls, anything you want. Because if you make it the same, it's going to be hard to match, especially if there's a character on one side. So this is usually the way that I do My Little Ponies. I always start with the same shapes and go from there. And then just add glitter when it's done. But that's an eye mask right there. It's done, it's over, and believe me, it'll get faster the more My Little Ponies you do.